Today is Melody Manager video day 3. What is the Melody Manager? It is virtual executive support, very high level support for purpose-driven female founders, leaders, executives, entrepreneurs, very much focused on supporting women. And the reason for that is because we need support. If you've ever walked in a room, well, listen, I have said I need a wife so many times. Most of my friends who are men don't say that either because they have a wife and they're like, it's fine, or they don't want a wife. And the reason why I would want a wife is because I understand what wives do for to make it possible for a lot of the men to run their companies without feeling, I mean, they feel stress. I'm not going to discount that, but I'm just going to talk the way that I talk, and not assume I'm offending anybody. But a lot of men have a lot of background support that we women don't have. And even when you have a very, very supportive husband, like I do, who may or may not like business, my husband goes to work and he comes home and he doesn't think about work anymore. I live and breathe it, whether I want to or not. It's just a part of my soul for some reason. And it's not the business, it's like the vision, the passion for creating and creation and for building something. But I still come home, I'm still coming home. Well, I work from home, but I still come home and have to think about kids. And yesterday my son was sick. So he stayed home, and then I wanted to take care of him because that's what mothers are supposed to do, and mothers who love their children. And so I wanted to make sure he had food. But and then this morning they had a 2-hour delay. So I was mothering again, but also I'm planning a big class that I was doing and working on things for people or within our team. There's so many things I'm holding at any one time. My house is a disaster right now, and I've kind of given up on that for the moment because I would rather prioritize my time doing other things. And since I said that I was committing to do a live every day in January, it's 8:24 Eastern time, and I was like, oh my gosh, that thing I said I was going to do, and here I am. And I don't remember what I said I was going to talk about, but I think it was about why women don't feel like they're ready oftentimes to get the support that they really need to expand their influence and grow their business and do good things in the world. I feel like a lot of women, we end up becoming accidental micromanagers, and we don't like that. Nobody wants to be an accidental micromanager, but it's because we understand what the risk is of handing things over to other people. And it might not seem like a big deal. Like, so what if somebody messes up an email and sends it with the wrong kind of messaging? Or so what if, they do a task wrong that it's not a big deal. But a lot of times we have things on top of things and we're just kind of barely hanging on, and we've got so much on our shoulders that we're trying to take care of and also remember. And the idea of getting executive support sounds like enchanting, doesn't it? It sounds so awesome. Why wouldn't you want that? But then you remember all the times that you maybe hired somebody to work with you and you couldn't figure out what they, could do for you. I don't know about you, but my brain kind of, if somebody says, what do you want me to do? Immediately my brain shuts down and I'm like, I don't know. Because like I say, the Melody Manager is all about me saying, I don't need, like, I can't manage more things or more people. I need somebody to help manage me and my things. So that's the Melody Manager, my executive assistant, my virtual collaborator. And so if you're watching right now, say hi in the chat, because I don't know how to, I'm really bad at this, you guys, but I'm trying. Let me see. Is that, I'm looking for the comment bar, but I don't know if I'm going to find it. It's fine. Anyway, so I was saying about, we remember, so a lot of us have tried to delegate before maybe, and we can be really great delegators. I'm an exceptional delegator. I'm maybe an expert at it. And also I always forget to delegate because my conditioning is you can do things. You can do everything. I must do everything or else I have failed. And even learning to let go of things feels like laziness sometimes, or it feels like you're putting other people out, even if you're paying them. And it's just hard because it takes a lot of brain space and energy to train people to think like you. And how do you know how you think? You've not studied yourself, or else we wouldn't need therapists. Like, we don't always have insight into who we are and how we operate in the world. Um, thank God for AI for taking a lot of the stuff that I've written or that I've worked on, and the way that I message and the way that I talk, it has helped me to understand myself a lot better when it's accurate. But the problem with a lot of women who don't go for getting the executive support, or who don't like take the leap, I would say, is they don't feel ready because they feel like there's a, a point of like 100% preparedness. Like, they're going to put all the stuff together first up front, and they're going to be completely organized, and everything will be good to go. And this is definitely a very much an imperfect action situation. And by the way, my brain is smashed. I did a class today for 2 hours teaching people how to break down their goals um, into small parts, so that their assistants could take over those big goals for them, and we could manage those goals with their assistant. And these are like hopefully bigger goals that people are choosing. But I spent a lot of my brain energy on that today. So the fact that I even have any left is a miracle. But it's just, I can't tell you how many times I've hired somebody to do something. I thought that we were on the same page, and the thing that I wanted them to do and I was so excited for them to do just came back exactly the wrong way. I always assume that people get me, and they get how I think, and they understand what I'm saying, because my words that are coming out of my mouth make sense to me most of the time. And it's really frustrating when that's not the case. And oftentimes I feel like I'm to blame. I'm a self-aware person. So I feel like I didn't say it right, or I didn't give it to them right, or maybe I didn't do it, give them the right context or whatever. And maybe that's partially the case, but sometimes it's just they're not my communication match. Um, did I already say this? I can't remember. I don't think I did, but I give the example of my husband and I speak American English. He speaks male American, I speak female American, and never the two shall meet. Like, I want to be like here, and we're always like communicating kind of parallel to each other. And eventually we get here, but it takes so much energy to get there. And that can happen in our work relationships, and that takes energy away. And anytime you've had that happen to you, it's like you get a pinprick. And when you're feeling like you want to try again, you remember the pain. You remember the emotional drain. You remember how hard it was. You remember how it was actually harder for them to do the thing than to have you have just done it, and how much time you wasted. There's all these things that come up for people. Or some people have never hired somebody before. That's also scary in a different way. I think when I had my first company, a window cleaning company, and I hired my first employee, I was terrified because I wasn't a leader. I was like 25 years old. I didn't know how to run a business, and I didn't know how to manage an employee. And unfortunately, this first employee stole heirloom jewelry from two of our clients within 2 months. And this person was from my parents' church, and they were on the worship team. And so that experience, if I had said I am never doing business again, that could have been the end of that. If I had held on to the pain of that, and it was painful, if I had held on to the pain of that situation and not moved forward and figured out how to make amends with these two wonderful women, I don't know that I would have ever hired anybody again. And I've hired hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people since then. And there's a lot of pain involved in business. And for women, we're carrying so much that I don't want to carry the possibility of pain. Now, if I told you that it would magically work, then, and I guaranteed it, of course, people would flock to me because I would be a magician. But we all know that that's not the way it works. Like, there's a part of us that has to grow and change and adapt when we bring somebody new into our lives. And that's what it is when you get executive support. And then you have to be vulnerable with this person. If you really want it to work, you have to show yourself in a very vulnerable way so that they can really learn who you are and how you communicate. And once you're able to do that, and if it works right, they're going to be patient. They're going to be your person that you can trust. They're going to have your back. And it's not magic, but it is just the best feeling in the world to have the right person supporting you. And it's getting from the thinking part of it to the actual getting there. That's really hard. Yesterday, I was on a call with a client. I asked them to get on a call with me so we could talk about some things. But I knew this person is extremely smart, driven, has built amazing things, and is way beyond my level of understanding in business. But I know that many of us get bogged down by very small, seemingly simple tasks. Like every time I have to start a Zoom meeting, if I have to control a Zoom meeting, it takes away my energy. And my energy is valuable. So that's why I have other people mostly start my Zoom meetings for me and control them so that I don't have to worry about those little things. For her, it was getting signed on to LastPass and figuring out how it worked. It takes 5 or 10 minutes, but those 5 or 10 minutes, when you have to think about it, when you already have huge, huge responsibilities to think about, and you have other things that are on the list that are way more important, you're going to push that to the side. And even if you do have a few moments, that's going to be the last thing you want to do. And then it becomes a much bigger thing in your head, because I might recognize something might take 5 minutes, but I might not name that. And in my head, it becomes like a 200-hour thing just because I don't want to. And so sitting with her and walking her through alongside her, that's all she needed. And again, this is a very smart woman, but those are the kinds of things that she shouldn't be doing. And starting Zoom meetings, I shouldn't be doing. I shouldn't be managing my own email. These are the drainers. These are the things that steal my very, very precious energy. And so when I'm looking at what the potential negative parts of bringing on executive support are, and I'm looking at the benefit and how much it can change your life when it does work, I understand that it's hard to make a choice. The thing about Melody Manager and the thing that we are offering is we are going to be providing, and we already do provide, a very high level of support, a lot of hand-holding with Home Service VA. But this is like a concierge level of support that I want to provide with Melody Manager. I want to be the company that just envelops you and gives you what you need and makes sure that you and your assistant are getting to where you want to go. I have a vision that I want to be the back end support for 1,000 women who are growing big, big things, who are going to change the business world. That is what my vision is. I want to, if I can expand myself and build this company to where I want it to go, then I will be able to have made a much bigger impact in this world simply by supporting other women, other founders, other leaders who need this support. This is my area that, this is my gift. This is what I'm good at. And it's what I love, and it's what I'm passionate about. I've already gone 13 minutes and 57 seconds, and I really want to try to keep myself down to 10 minutes. It's just an arbitrary amount of time that I decided on. So I'm going to go now, but let me know in the comments if you have any questions about what I'm saying. If you have any other reasons why women don't get virtual support, or why they're afraid of it. Are they afraid to make an investment in themselves? Are they afraid that it's not going to work for them? I want to understand people's brains on this. So if you're a woman who doesn't get or doesn't have an executive assistant, but knows that you're ready for one, or even if you don't have one, you're not ready for one, I still want to understand, like, what is your brain telling you that that isn't going to work with this? Because I want to understand. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Let me know if there's anything that you want to hear about. Otherwise, I'm just going to be talking about whatever I want to talk about when it comes to the Melody Manager. Thank you. Have a good night.